In the year 1028, in the small Norman town of Falaise, a child was born out of wedlock. His name was William. He would one day earn the name the Conqueror, but to his enemies, he was known as William the Bastard. This is the story of a man who overcame scandal, war, and rebellion to become the first Norman king of England and forever changed the course of history. William was born the illegitimate son of Duke Robert the Magnificent of Normandy and a woman named Herleva, a tanner's daughter. From the very beginning, his claim to power was contested, not just because of his age, but because of his birth. When his father died in 1035 during a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, young William, just 7 or 8 years old, became Duke of Normandy. But the duchy was not ready to be ruled by a child. Noble families schemed, guardians were murdered, assassins lurked in the shadows. Yet somehow, William survived. His resilience during these violent years shaped him into a hardened leader, cautious, strategic, and ruthless when needed. As a teenager, William had to put down rebellions constantly. In 1047, with the help of King Henry I of France, William defeated rebellious barons at the Battle of Valais-Dune, finally asserting control over his duchy. Soon after, he married Matilda of Flanders, solidifying a powerful alliance. With internal threats crushed and foreign alliances secured, William had transformed from a vulnerable boy into a powerful and respected duke. But across the English Channel, a far greater prize awaited. In England, King Edward the Confessor ruled without a direct heir. William, a distant cousin of Edward, claimed the king had promised him the throne during a visit years earlier. However, Edward died in January 1066, and the English Witan, its council of nobles, crowned Harold Godwinson, a powerful Anglo-Saxon earl, as king. He claimed Harold had sworn an oath of allegiance to him, possibly on sacred relics. Whether by divine right or political promise, William believed the English crown was his, and he would take it by force. In the summer of 1066, William assembled a massive invasion fleet. He secured the Pope's blessing, turning his conquest into a holy war. His ships crossed the English Channel in late September, landing at Pevensey. At the same time, Harold had just fought off a Viking invasion in the north at Stamford Bridge, marching his weary army south. On October 14th, 1066, two worlds collided at the Battle of Hastings. The English shield wall held firm, but William's forces adapted. His cavalry faked retreats, luring English troops into traps. After hours of brutal combat, Harold was killed. Legend says an arrow pierced his eye. The English forces crumbled. William had won the battle and the crown. On Christmas Day 1066, William was crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey, but rebellion simmered in every corner of his new kingdom. After hours of brutal combat, Harold was killed. Legend says an arrow pierced his eye. The English forces crumbled. William had won the battle and the crown. On Christmas Day, 1066, William was crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey. But rebellion simmered in every corner of his new kingdom. In the north, in the west, even in London, Anglo-Saxon resistance refused to die. William responded with brutal efficiency. From 1069 to 1070, he launched the Harrying of the North, a scorched earth campaign that left villages burned, fields salted, and thousands dead from famine. It was a clear message. Resistance would be crushed without mercy. With England subdued, William began reshaping it. He confiscated the lands of Anglo-Saxon nobles and gave them to his Norman followers. He built castles, hundreds of them, to enforce control. Towering stone fortresses like the Tower of London stood as symbols of his authority. He imposed feudalism, where loyalty to the king meant land and power, enforced by military strength. And in 1085, he ordered a national survey, the Domesday Book, a meticulous record of every village, field, pig, and plow in the realm. It was a bold assertion of control, unmatched in medieval Europe. William's later years were marked by tension, with his sons, with France, and within his vast realm. In 1087, during a campaign against the King of France, William was injured when his horse stumbled. He suffered internal wounds and died in Rouen, far from the throne he had seized. His burial at Abbey aux Hommes in Caen was fraught with irony. The church had to be rebuilt to accommodate his body. Even in death, William didn't fit neatly into the world. He changed England's language, with French words seeping into the Old English tongue. He changed its laws, its nobility, its very structure. He laid the foundation for a centralized English monarchy and introduced institutions that shaped the nation for centuries. His descendants ruled England for generations. His blood runs through every English monarch that followed, from bastard child to Duke of Normandy, from conqueror to crowned king. William's story is one of survival, ambition, and transformation. He didn't just conquer a kingdom, he remade a nation. This was the legacy of William the Conqueror, the man who built England's future on the battlefield.